What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Come on, we need some energy. So my name is Lorenz Dobson. What you guys are looking at is a new facility called We Play Studios. 99% Ukrainians built this. This is literally a place where you have motion capture, VR, AR, live streaming, live broadcasting. This is a place where you can dream. And I specifically convinced them to come to Inglewood and bring this facility to Inglewood for us. So I'm super excited, man. And even this event, I just want to give a shout out to Judge Songhai. She's so amazing. JCOD, all of the things that they're doing for the community is such an amazing thing. Come on, Judge. Come on now. Now, I don't know how many judges got this much swag, though. But it just never seems to amaze me that all the things that you're doing. She literally brought me to a jail in downtown, a jail in the valley, to where we can literally rebuild and restructure and create schools out of those jails. You know what I mean? So we can't do it alone, one band, one sound. We need all y'all help to build this community back up. But I want y'all to give yourselves a round of applause for yourselves just for being here. So shout out to Judge Songhai. Love you, appreciate you.
Thank you. Do I keep this mic? No. The microphone's not on yet. Okay, I'll use this for now. How is everybody doing? You're not tired yet, are you? Okay, you ready? Because we're about to get it started in here. So we're going to have a conversation with three fabulous guests who are really going to talk about why the importance of sort of people should use their platforms to move social justice forward, and why it's important for people to use their brand to move social justice forward, to really have these conversations. Isn't that a great conversation to have? Yes. All right. So first up, I don't know who's mic'd up first, so I'm going to start just reading intros. Okay, we have Danny Trejo. In an acting career that spans more than 50 years, Danny Trejo has more than 700 acting credits. 700 acting credits? More than 700 acting credits to his name, including films like Desperado, From Dusk Till Dawn, Con Air, and Machete. Mr. Trejo is also a member of the justice-impacted community who has now been clean and sober for more than 55 years. Yes.
Wow.
Then we have Mr. Scott Budnick. Scott Budnick grew up in Atlanta and graduated from Emory University with degrees in business and film. How interesting. He produced films like Just Mercy, The Hangover Trilogy, Starsky and Hutch, and many others. In 2013, he founded the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, also known as ARC. He's a key JCOD partner. ARC is a nonprofit organization that works to end mass incarceration in California by empowering formerly and currently incarcerated people to thrive by providing a support network, comprehensive reentry services, and opportunities to advocate for policy change. And last but not least, joining me on the stage is YG. Born and raised in Compton and raised all over Los Angeles. Born in Compton and raised all over Los Angeles. At 18 years old, He released his first mixtape at just 18 years old, the first of 10 mixtapes to go along with 6 studio albums. He created his own streetwear label, his own record label called what? Go 100. He is also a member of the Justice Impacted community. As he prepares to announce his new album, he says he's going to give the world a new version of himself. Let's thank these brave men for being brave enough to be here in conversation with me because they just all know who knows what I'm going to say. But anyway, here we go. Let's start with you, Mr. Trejo. First of all, I'm so honored to have you here with me today. I'm so grateful.
Thank you.
I want to take it back. I want to take it way back. So we know that you're very open about your past, that you were in and out of the justice system as a youth. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I was in and out of the prison system. You started like most, I always say most kids, everybody I knew, you start out juvenile hall, going little stuff, whatever, and then pretty soon it just go from juvenile hall. It's almost like school. You know, like school, you go from grammar school to junior high school to college, to high school to college. Well, we started out like juvenile hall to youth authority to prison, and it's just that's just what happens when you run the streets with people. And I would just fit in. I started using drugs real early, and smoking weed. Weed don't hurt, and but all weed does is give you access to other drugs. And all of a sudden, we were doing pills and shooting heroin. And along with that comes money. You need money. You need money. You got money, give me it or I'll kill you. And so all of a sudden, you're doing robberies and burglaries and anything to get money. And, you know, drugs and prison go together. That's all, you know. So kids smoking weed and stuff, just remember that. Drugs and prison go together. And I don't got nothing against weed. I know people that can smoke weed and they're cool, you know, kind of lazy at work, but and and putting on weight because of the munchies, but otherwise. And for me, it's like I got in a lot of trouble in prison, and was facing a gas chamber, and it was 1968, Cinco de Mayo. Okay,
Did you say 68?
1968. The prison system is so dumb. They have an outside baseball team come into prison on Cinco de Mayo. Now, if you're Mexican, Cinco de Mayo means you either go to jail, get stabbed by your wife, shoot at the neighbor, uh, get in a fight. It's what it is. It's just, it's the dumbest holiday we got. We won the Battle of Puebla, which is a town of 30, and you know, all of a sudden we had a holiday. So that's Cinco de Mayo, and it's funny. It's like they have this outside baseball team in to play prisoners. Most of them were drunk, and you know, it just what happened happened. It's like the big riot, and me, Ray Pacheco, and Henry Quijada all had gas chamber offenses. We got sent to the hole, and I remember Henry saying, "Hey, Danny, they're going to top us," you know. And I was 24 years old. I said, "Wait a minute, you know." Every teacher I ever had said I had a lot of potential. Honest to God. Mrs. Finley in the 4th grade says, "Danny, you have a lot of potential, but you can't sit still." Mr. Billingsley in Pacoima Junior High School, "Danny, you're full of potential, but you got to stop fighting."
But you use that later on. We're going to come back to that story in just a second. You use that later on. I'm going to jump over to you, YG. So you've been booked in Men's Central Jail, and you heard the panel right before that. They were talking about Men's Central Jail and if we needed a new jail built or not. And you've had your own lived experience in the justice system. So what effect has that lived experience had on you?
Um, I don't think we belong in cages, you know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. I mean, the experience for me is just like when I was going to jail, like, and I got out, I'm like, damn, I can't go back there. I want no parts of that. You know what I'm saying? So it helped keep me on the right track. But I got a lot of homies and friends that's in there. You know what I'm saying? Going through all the motions of being in jail, and everybody got the same story. You know what I'm saying? They like, man, ain't none of this worth it. You know what I'm saying? You away from your family, you away from your friends, and whatever goals you had in life, you know what I'm saying, they get put on pause. Um, and then you just like, you know what I'm saying, you got to deal with all the jail politics and living and all that. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go to jail. We don't do those. Stay away.
Jail bad, community good. Okay, got it. Okay, Scott, let's talk to you a bit. Have you ever been to jail?
To visit.
Scott been a years. Scott took me to Lancaster prison. I walked the yard
You did, as a free man.
as a free man.
You walked out the yard.
Yeah, I walked out
Didn't
the
stay
yard.
in the yard. So
Yeah.
Scott, you have been a force in the reentry space for many years now. What inspired you to get involved? Let's tell us the backstory.
I mean, I tell this story all the time, but I mean, it was the most impactful day of my life. February 8th, 2004. A friend of mine, I was working on a movie called Old School, if you remember that one. Will Ferrell going streaking. Very mature, Scott, very mature.
Kind of like Hangover.
Yeah, exactly. And friend of mine invited me down to the juvenile hall. And so that Saturday morning, I went down to Barry Jane out of juvenile hall. First visual I saw in there was like a kid that looked like he was 9, 10 years old, like fully shackled, head to toe, being escorted. And right then I was just like, what's going on here? Like, there's something wrong here. And they took me into the compound, which is like the prison within the prison, and they said, these are where the most violent kids are, and these are kids being tried as adults for violent crimes. So we go in, and I think I'm going in for a creative writing class called Inside Out Writers. Shout out Inside Out Writers. I think I'm going to a classroom, and they're like, no, we didn't build classrooms because these kids are all going to prison. Okay. So we set up a little table in a hallway, and these kids file in, and this little kid sits next to me. And I said, how was your week? And no joke, he says, it was a really bad week. I just got sentenced to 300 years to life in prison. And I said, how old are you? He said, 15. I said, what happened? He said, my homie shot the victim in the butt. I didn't touch the gun, but for being with the guy, I got 300 years to life in prison. The victim was in and out of the hospital in a day. And I did my research, and it was true. Multiple counts of attempted murder, multiple counts of assault with deadly weapon, gun enhancements, gang enhancements. And as we went around that table, I just heard these stories, 50 to life, 75 to life. And it doesn't take a rocket science to realize, like, if this was my kid, if this kid looked like me, if this kid had my resources, like my son would be out on bail, so he wouldn't even be sitting in that jail, and my son would have the best lawyer in LA and would probably get probation for not shooting someone, not touching a gun where someone was shot in the butt. But David, who was in foster care and wasn't my son, was going to prison for 300 years to life. And I can't live in a state, a county, a city where we're going to do that to children. So I said on that day to those kids around the table, if you guys are committed to moving forward on a path of change, I'm committed to coming in here every Saturday. And that was February 8th, 2004, and I'm still there every week now in 2026.
Thank you.
Sheesh.
Thank you. Right?
Go Scott.
Yeah. You know, that actually brings me to a question. So I'm going to go out of order. That brings me to a question. So all of you have celebrity. All of you are brands, right? All of you are, names, have following, et cetera, et cetera. Why do you think it's important that you all use your brand, your celebrityism, all of those things to really put social justice at the forefront, to have these types of conversations, right? Because you don't have to, right? You have the luxury of using your success and just be successful, but you believe it's important to go back and to change the system and to give back. Can you guys talk about a little bit like why that is important to you? Go ahead.
I mean, a part of me for or the reason why it's important to me is like I said, like I got a lot of friends and family, you know what I'm saying, who be in and out of jail, you know what I'm saying, who really living that life, and you know I'm involved, helping them out, trying to get lawyers, knowing about their cases, and just seeing all the slimy like stuff you got to go through, you know what I'm saying. So of course I'm gonna be like, I call Scott sometimes, you know what I'm saying. I call the people sometimes. I'm like, man, we need help. We gotta figure it out. So I find myself like helping my peoples, you know what I'm saying, on a day-to-day basis, um, with the justice system stuff and all that. And then, you know, um, the other part of me doing it, you know what I'm saying, because what my ancestors did for us, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we gotta pick up where they left off. Like life is a fight, you know what I'm saying? And to get treated equally, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna have to fight. So like I make sure I get my punches in, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, Danny, I'm going to ask you the same question. We had this conversation a little bit earlier today, but why is it important for you to really give back? I mean, when we talk about your credits, and I mean, you could go on and not give back and not care, but why is it important that you use your brand to continue to give back and connect with community?
I honestly believe that the good Lord pays us back. Yeah.
Can you say that one more time?
I honestly believe that the good Lord pays us back. You know what I mean? And, in 1968, I made a promise, if you let me die with dignity, I will say your name every day and I'll do whatever I can for my fellow inmate, because I thought I was never getting out of prison. And when I went to the Bull Board in 1969, I remember their words. The first words were, Trejo, we're getting sick of you. And they said, we're kicking you out of here and bring us back a life sentence. And that wasn't like a real good, you know, send-off. But I got out August 23rd, 1969. And the first thing I tried to do to help somebody was take my neighbor's trash cans out. The old people, I hate saying old people. The guys that were about 60, I used to take their trash out. And that's how I started doing good. That's all I knew. And slowly that became, I started working for a place called the Narcotics Prevention Project. And from there, everything good that has happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. Everything.
I mean, I'm not a celebrity, but I'll say this, these two guys show up every time. If I need them somewhere, if there's something to be done, they do it. And there's very few people, we can count them on two hands, that have like major celebrity platforms that will show up for this issue. And so I think one thing for everyone in this room to commit to is like, a lot of people, like when Kim Kardashian with 380 million followers goes out there and tries to champion somebody that's innocent or try to help change a law or whatever it may be, I think it's important that we don't pick at them or say they didn't walk in our shoes or whatever it may be, because I think to have people that are willing to stand up and fight who haven't been through this but have a crazy platforms, like that's beautiful. That's incredible, because this is not an easy issue. Like, you get attacked from both sides on this issue.
Say that again, brother.
This is not an easy issue. You get attacked for both sides on this issue. And so for someone to be willing to come out and speak about it is, like, I think really important. Like, for me, I think when I realized like the power that I had just as a producer, I'm a behind the scenes kind of guy. I'm not out front like them. We were in Sacramento, and an incredible woman named Elizabeth Calvin from Human Rights Watch, and Javier Starring, Father Mike from the Catholic Church. They're like, can you come up to Sacramento? We're trying to pass a bill. This is 2012. We're trying to pass a bill called SB 9 to end life without parole sentences for juveniles. So for all the time before that, we could sentence someone under 18 to life without parole. You're going to die in prison. You have no chance of changing. You have no chance of coming home. You're coming home in a casket, period. For 12 years, they tried to pass a bill, and they were 2 votes short in Sacramento every year to end life without parole. So I went up there and I brought a bunch of people who were formerly incarcerated, who had done college on the inside and were in college on the streets right now, and we went up there. And in the middle of us doing our rounds, someone said, the Speaker of the Assembly wants to see you. So we went in, and this is the guy that controlled all the votes. And we go into his office, and I walk into his office with a bunch of formerly incarcerated folks, and on the table are hangover posters and Sharpies. And he literally wants me to sign posters. I don't even sign posters. That's like not a normal thing for me. So I'm signing hangover posters, and he says, sit down, let's talk about why you're here. And all of these formerly incarcerated people sit around the table with the most powerful guy in that building and tell their stories. At the end of it, he's like, let me see your vote count. Who are the 3 votes that you need? And he goes, this one, this one, this one. I'm going to call them right now, go to their offices. I'm going to tell them you're coming. That day, we were able to pass the bill and went to Jerry Brown's desk. He signed it, and there's no more life without parole for juveniles. So the point is, I learned like sometimes how to get people through the door, but then when to shut the fuck up and sit back. That was my learning.
Good lesson. That's a good lesson. Let's talk a little bit about second chances. And sometimes it's third chances, and sometimes it's 14th chances, right? Sometimes it's 72nd chance. No, I'm just kidding. Why is that important, and what does that look like? And I'll start with you, Scott.
I mean, I had a kid in juvenile hall this last year named Armando. And Armando did 3 years in there for a crime. He got out. He came to transitional housing. His girlfriend had girlfriend issues, snuck out at night a couple times, got violated, came back, right? So now he's sitting in there for a year for violating the terms of his arrest, not for another crime, just for a violation. While he's in there, we get to talking, and he's like, I really want to get away. My old gang's in LA. A lot of girls that I probably shouldn't be messing with are in LA. Like, I really need a fresh start. Like, how do I get a fresh start? And I'm like, well, bro, like, we have a Sacramento office. We have Sacramento housing. Are you willing to do it? This dude, Armando, just got out 3 weeks ago, got a paid internship in the California State Senate. Yep. And every day I get pictures of him in a coat and a tie in the Capitol living in Sacramento. That's one of 1,000 stories. That's today's story.
We've had breakfast with him. He's brilliant and talented. How about you, Y? Talk to us a little bit about second chances and why they're important.
Second chances is important, you know, like we humans, and you only get one life to live, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't like the idea like somebody mess up, you know what I'm saying, and they get put away for the rest of their life, and it's like, they ain't gonna get like another chance, you know what I'm saying, to do it over. And you know, like sometimes you gotta go through stuff in life to like, you know what I'm saying, better your situation and like learn from it and all that. Like, so for example, my little bro, he just walked in.
Where is this? Where's Buddha?
Named Dimitri.
Buddha, where you at?
Buddha, where
Dimitri.
you at? Hey, so so Scott, so Buddha was in jail. He had 15 to life. You know what I'm saying? He went to jail like what you was like just turned 18 or 19. My bad.
You come join us.
Like when you caught your case, you was 18 or 19?
Yeah, 18, about to be 19.
He was 18, about to be 19, you know what I'm saying? He caught a case, and he got 15 to life, you know what I'm saying? And at the time, like, we all young, you know what I'm saying? So we trying to like help him figure it out, find the lawyers and all that. You feel me? The lawyer I ended up paying a lawyer like 20-some thousand, and he still got 15 to life. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
It's a legal term. Go ahead.
oh, my bad. But, you know what I'm saying, he got put in like he went to the pen, going through that whole process, and you know, like for us when we hear like to life or life, it's like you're not coming home. Like forget about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Haha.
no, for real, you feel me? That's what we know up until Scott.
No, 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 no.
But but no, so he was in prison, and then he used to call me like, man, I'm coming home, and I'm like, how, bro? Like, how? Like, right? And like he believed, and then he told me about Scott Bundy, and he was doing a program with Scott and all this. So he was really like believing in like, nah, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. So then he ended up doing the whole Scott thing. I met with Scott. Scott took me up there. I seen everything he was doing, and some years later, Buddha ended up coming home. And when he came home, he's a whole different person. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I want to say something. Like this dude is so goofy. Like I don't know the old Buddha. I just know today's Buddha. Like this talk about second chances, right? This dude, I like. How could this guy ever hurt anyone in his life? He's so goofy. He's such a little dork. Like
He's a sweetheart. We love Buddha. He's a sweetheart.
Hey, so when you talk about second chances, you feel me? This is a prime example, like for me, like you know what I'm saying? Because you feel me? The system counted him out, but he fought. You know what I'm saying? And with the help of everybody who helped, he came home and he's a whole different person, and he got a second chance at life, and he doing a lot of amazing work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that. I love that because it reiterates the importance of doing work inside. You can't wait till you come home to start doing work. You start the work ahead of time. And that's also why we need resources inside. Prisons and jails can't just be a holding place as long as they exist. I understand we don't want them to exist, but as long as they exist, they can't be a holding place. We have to program inside so that people are ready to come home and that they can excel when they come home. And then we have to have a safe place for them to land when they come home, right? Like I think that that's very, very important. And we need to, and all of you in the room can help contribute to that. Now,
Look,
go ahead.
hold on. I have something else to say.
oh damn.
Because what you was just saying earlier about the like your juvenile
Yeah.
situation with the juvie who didn't do like the crime. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? He was just right there. His situation was like the same type of situation, you know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So like what is that? Like broken like system shit or what? I mean
Yeah. And by the way, a lot of it.
That's another legal term.
I'm sorry.
He's in timeout for the next 2 seconds, but go ahead. What you gonna say? Hold on 1 second. I want to bring in Mr. Trail back into this conversation, but before I do that, can you please show us the lining of your jacket? You got to show us the lining of your jacket. This brother is cold.
Man, you gotta,
Wait a minute.
man, you gotta
haven't seen a
stand
coat,
up,
though.
bro.
Buddha, can you hold up the
Come on,
coat?
man.
Can you hold up the coat?
Hey.
Yeah. Can I say that's the invention of Flossie? We were upstairs and we were talking. He just subtly was like, I was like, what you trying to do? Why are you trying to show out on me? Make me
When
feel bad
people-
on my purple. Go ahead.
When people flash bling, I shut them up real quick.
Talk to us a little bit about second chances.
You know what? A second chance is like, I gotta tell you something. In 1992, I did a movie called Blood In, Blood Out. And I did it in Quinton. And Quinton was a northern reception center. And we're from the South, but there was no hassle. It was cool. And so I ran into a guy there that was from Baldwin Park. And he was wearing blue, and I said, you crazy? Because it was Northern Reception Center, they were red. And he said, I've had some trouble here, but it's okay, and so we talked about staying clean. And 8 years later, I run into him in a Narcotics Anonymous convention. And he said, took your advice, and we became partners, pals, and ran around and hung out together. And 11 years ago, I was in Germany, I think. I was doing a film, and I get a call from a guy named Mishko that runs with my son and says, hey, Gilbert's dying, Holmes. I mean, he's in trouble. He had the combination of my safe. So, he's balling, and that means drugs, and that means people. And so Mishko called me and said, got to help him. So I called Mario, and told him, hey, find Gilbert Owens because he's hurting, you know. And Mario said, okay, don't worry, I'll find him. I'm getting ready to leave this movie. He said, I'll find him, don't worry. And it's funny because Mario's from Baldwin Park. My son's running around in Hollywood. Now, what's a Mexican from Baldwin Park know about Hollywood? You know, and 6 hours later, he called me up and said, hey, I got him. No, I got him. He's cool. He's here. He's using blood. My son's got 11 years clean right now. He's a director. He directs movies. And it's like amazing the way God works. He's going to pay you back for doing good, but not in your time. You're in his time. And my son knows it. My son even says it. Shit, Mario saved my life. You know, so if you're lost, if you're looking for a place, I'm telling you, man, first of all, drugs and alcohol, they're killers. That's all, they're killers. And I quit in 1968 and been clean and sober since. And my life keeps getting better and better and better. And then now there's no more bridge between me and judges and police. It's like, if sometimes they'll call me and say, hey, got a problem, man, can you talk to these kids? Yeah, I'm there. You know, YG the same way. You know, do you understand? We all have to work together. And she's a judge. And it's like, wait a minute, but that's what we need. We need people empowered to get aboard. She's been aboard. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to give a question. You're off a timeout. I'm going to give a question back to you. But yeah, you're off a timeout. I have a question back to you guys. And actually, I'm going to hand you my microphone, Buddha, so you can chime in if you want. What resources do you think that our community needs most so that we keep people from going in the justice system in the first place? And I'll pass you my mic if you want to add.
I think mental health and trauma support is one of the main ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think one thing we probably should have more is access to greater influences in the art world, entertainment world, even in the athletic department. I think there should be more. I don't know like the exact program for it, but I would just say like I work with an organization that it works for Impact Youth, right? And one of the greatest highlights that they always have is going to games.
Yeah.
Like they love
Like the Lakers?
Lakers games.
There's
Rambus.
Laker people out there, right
Yeah.
there.
That was a
Jordan.
hint, Jordan. Jordan Rambus, hint, hint, hint. Okay, go ahead,
Well,
continue.
you know, they love they love going to games and they love seeing like concerts and shows. And the one thing I realize is the proximity that they have.
Yeah.
So no matter what they go back into their communities and they face, they have like these great memories. So the good memories start to outweigh the bad memories. So as long as that's the method that we can approach them with,
Yeah.
that gives them the insight to have like, okay, this influence is near me, rather than just telling them about it and showing them that that they can do it.
I love that you. I'm sorry. I love that you said that. Yes. So give a round of applause.
Man, I told y'all he's a whole new person. That's what I said.
But I think access is so important and opportunities and also the possibilities. I think what you're saying is that when people go and they have access to the athletic events, the sporting events, the arts, the creative, or whatever their purpose is, right? Then they know that they can do it too. And I think that's what's so powerful about the folks that are sitting up here is that they can do it too. If you can do it, which we have this conversation, right? You can, I can do it. There's nothing to stop me from doing it. There's a conversation earlier talked about purpose and possibilities. And I think when Harry O was here earlier, he even talked about people being able to step into their full power, right? So all of these things are possible. I 100% believe in people stepping into their purpose. Go ahead.
You know, my little cousin Gilbert had done 38 years, and he had about 30 left. And when I talked to Scott about it, he got out 38 years, you know, and that's enough for anybody. Right now, he's a journeyman electrician and making more money than me, you know. But you know, it's like everybody has to have some kind of support, and that's what these programs are. I run about 7 detoxes, and everybody that comes out of the joint within 6, 7 months, they're hooked. Not everybody, but dope fiends, and so we see them first, and it's like good to have a lot of places to be able to send people. You know, right now San Fernando Recovery is we got that place full, and everybody there comes directly from the penitentiary. So it's a buffer because coming out of the joint after 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years and landing, the world's changed. You know what I mean? The world has changed. And all of a sudden you're walking around looking for a job. You know, where you been for the last 10 years? You know, and so I think that all these programs are so important, all of them. And when we start to work together, and we do, you got to work with the police, you got to work with you have to be able to. And thank God we do.
Yeah. And, and I love that you're saying work together, because the first time I met you was, I think, 2008 at the LAPD when Chief Bratton was still the chief of police, which was a very long time ago. But yeah, and you were there talking about what it looks like for police to also work with community and have a different perspective on community. Speaking of misconceptions, I'm going to ask you, Scott, what do you think some of the biggest misconceptions people have about justice impacted people?
I mean, I think the biggest misconception is that people can't change, right? I think that's the biggest problem, right? If everyone believed that people that commit a crime can change, and can learn from that experience, then we would never have a system that just puts people away and punishes them. And we ended up. I'll tell you one story that I think is like just like the greatest example of this misconception is after we passed SB 9 and eliminated life without parole for juveniles, that didn't help David, who I met my first day that had 300 years to life, right? Because he didn't have life without parole. So we ended up a year later working on a bill, SB 260, that looked at everybody under the age of 18 that got any long sentence and gave them a chance of parole. And we passed that bill. It affected about 5,000 people in prison. And then the next year after that, we passed SB 261, which took it up to age 25. And that affected 14,000 people in prison who were all going to die in prison, no chance of ever getting out, and they now all have a chance of going to the parole board. And when we did that, the whole team went up to Pelican Bay, and we pulled everybody out of the prison that qualified for this bill to tell them, you no longer are going to die in prison. You have this chance of coming home. And we went to the Pelican Bay SHU. And in the SHU, there were 112 guys that qualified for this bill who were in solitary confinement. And we put them in these stand-up cages, and one by one, me and the lawyers would rotate cages and talk to each of these human beings. And I remember talking to this guy who looked like he was in his 50s or 60s. And I asked him how long he had been in solitary confinement, and he said 35 years. And I said, well, now you qualify for SB 260. By the way, this is the Pelican Bay SHU, the worst of the worst, right? So now here's the worst of the worst in the whole system. I said, you now qualify for a parole hearing. In the next year, you're going to have the chance to go home. And this older man, the worst of the worst in the Pelican Bay SHU, started crying on the other side of this cage. And he said, this is the first time in 45 years I've been in prison that I have hope. And I reached my finger, just like to try to console him, I reached my finger through a little hole in the cage, and we touched pinky fingers because you can only fit your pinky through it. And that's the way you shake hands in Pelican Bay. And he said, And right now, you're the first person I've touched in 35 years.
Wow.
And this man ended up getting out of the shoe. This man ended up coming home. This man now works in reentry services, helping kids not go to prison that were in juvenile hall and go to college and change their lives. So there's a misconception.
A huge misconception. A huge misconception. Anyone else want to add on the misconception piece?
Scott killed it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, we're going to do a couple of, we only have a few minutes left. We'll do a couple of rapid fire fun questions. So, YG, what's your favorite album that you've done?
My Crazy Life.
Okay.
What's your favorite album that someone else has done?
All Eyes on Me.
Yes.
Yes.
Right answer.
Scott, what's your favorite movie?
Shawshank Redemption.
Okay, Mr. Trejo, what's your favorite movie? Blood In, Blood Out, he says. All right.
And Stand By Me.
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me.
That is a very, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Tell me, yeah, go ahead, Mr. Trejo.
One thing I want to say that, you know, like when YG goes to a school or to a prison and talks, boom, everybody listens. You know what I mean? Everybody listens. I don't care. You could have the governor go in there and talk, and yeah. But they know him. They know me. So I've been in schools that, you know, the problem areas, and there's all kinds of noise, and teachers are screaming, be quiet, be quiet. And when I walk out, it's just hush. And not me, it's the guy from Blood In, the guy from Heat, the guy from Desperado. They're yelling for that guy. And the same thing with YG. It's like, and they listen. And they almost got if he can do it, I can do it. And that's all it takes.
100%. Actually, Scott, you double as a DJ, so go ahead and tell us, what's your favorite album?
Oh, man. Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life.
Yes, that is such a good album. Mr. Trejo, do you have a favorite album?
Maybe something from the 1940s.
60s.
Some Ella Fitzgerald.
I used to love a guy named Fats Domino. Nobody knows him.
Say it one more time. Who was it? Who was the artist?
Fats Domino.
Oh, okay. That's amazing. Okay, what's your favorite movie? Why?
Minister Society.
Yes. He's on a roll, baby. He's on a roll.
Okay, let's see. And we have a couple more minutes left. Let me ask you about your wellness journey. So I understand, like last time we hung out, you were telling me about all the herbs and the good herbs, the legal herbs. Although
They're all legal.
They're all legal now. I forgot. I'm sorry. The herbs that are for nutritional value. How about those? And you're in this wellness journey. Tell us a little bit about your wellness journey and how you got there.
Yeah, I've been on my health and wellness journey for like 10 plus years. Yeah. I got there because, you know, Nipsey Hussle, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Dr. Sebi. Yep.
He started learning about Dr. Sebi,
Sebi. Yep.
like a long time ago. I think Lauren London is who introduced him to Dr. Sebi, and then, you know,
Yeah.
Nipsey was one of the like homies who like we'd link up and we'd sit down and we'd talk about everything but music, you know what I'm saying? And like business, family, morals, and like Dr. Sebi was one of the things, you know what I'm saying, he'd talk about. And Nip had a lot of influence on everybody, you know what I'm saying? So when I seen Nip on that, I'm like, I probably need to try that because, you know, my lifestyle I live, I drank a lot of alcohol. I did a lot of other things, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I think it's time for me to try to start balancing out the good with the bad. So I started going vegan, doing like
Oh, my
vegan
God.
cleanses.
Really? Vegan?
What, you don't believe me?
You've got so soft.
Hey, it's good, man. It's good. You know, sometimes we need that. Life is about balance, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I was doing these cleanses because, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I drink a lot of alcohol, man. Like, and like I ain't want my liver to go out, stuff like that. So I started doing alkaline vegan cleanses, you know what I'm saying? Just straight salads, fruits, and waters. You know what I'm saying? That's all I was eating for like a month. And I lost a lot of weight. And then I was like my brain was working different. And then they got to a point, like I was so on this, like I told my mama, I was telling my family, I'm like, hey, look, y'all need to stop drinking this kind of water. Y'all need to drink this kind of water only. You feel me? So my mama, she on the side. My mama was
Mama,
like,
stand up, stand up, stand
oh, where
up.
she at?
Let
Oh, here
everybody
she
see
go.
you.
Hey, so
Yeah.
my mama like, you know what I'm saying? It's 2015. You know, my first album come out 2014. So like now I'm successful, right? So I'm telling my mama and all them like, my mama telling me like, boy, I don't know what happened to you, but Hollywood got you acting different. And I'm like, because I'm trying to be healthy, I'm acting different. I'm like, oh yeah, this is crazy. But she was on that for a minute, and then like some years later, she converted. You know what I'm saying? And now she been on
Mom's
the
on the
health journey.
smoothies.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? My mama green juice it up and green shake it up every morning. And ashwagandha, sea moss. What else you do? The oil of oregano.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, so now I've been on this health journey for like a long time, and you know, I still do my thing. I still be me, Scott. Don't ever think like, no, I'm playing. Hey, no, but I enjoy myself, but you know, I balance it out. And yeah, like I'm one of the like people that like whenever like my homies, family got something going on and they don't want to go to the doctor or something, they call me like, bro, like how I do this, like I need help with this,
So
like
are you still Hollywood?
No,
Hollywood.
Is he all Hollywood
there's
now?
Pizza Hut and Krispy Kreme on the counters.
But he does push, did you get in your IV to get better when you got the flu and the
Yeah, I
cold?
do the IV drip like
Yep.
once every 2 weeks. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I get all my vitamins and minerals and other things like that.
And you love all those Diddy white parties too, right?
Pool parties.
Ooh, okay, we're gonna move on to another subject right now.
Scott, the only one
let's
that
see,
know
okay.
about those parties. Hey, he's
Mr.
high.
Trejo.
He's higher up. He's high up. Big dog, Hollywood movie producer. He knows all about those parties.
Exactly. We're gonna move into a safe subject now.
Hey, I would change the subject.
Mr. Trejo, let's talk about your restaurants. You have 8, 9, 20 restaurants. How many restaurants do you have now?
I got 5 restaurants in LA, 1 in London, putting another one in London. I got opening up 1 in Oklahoma. And the way that started was I helped a director who needed a name for a movie. And I was the name. I said, okay, we'll do it. No money. They give you a sandwich. And so we did a movie called Badass, and it turned into a trilogy. But on it, I met a producer named Ash Shaw, who had been in the restaurant business, and I eat good. I don't, I'm 81, so it's like you better eat good. And so I eat good food, and he noticed that a lot of times I wouldn't eat off the truck. He says, why don't you open a restaurant? Jokingly, I said, Trejo's Tacos. And he brought us a business plan, and we've got 5 restaurants in LA, so that's kind of cool.
So, okay, I have to ask you then, restaurant business or movies? Which one do you like better?
Well, everybody's starting to love my tacos now, so and we also got a record label named Trejo's Music, and we're having a lot of fun with that,
Yeah.
I love that. I get to go to concerts free and stuff.
I love that. So we're on our last minute. So I'm going to ask you all rapid fire. If you had to give someone one piece of advice, what would it be?
I would rather shoot for the moon and miss than aim for the gutter and make it.
You got any advice for us, Buddha?
My probably advice would be rock bottom is a launching pad to success.
Awesome.
I'm a quote the homie Nib. Life is a marathon. Run a lap.
Yeah.
I think one of the best pieces of advice I was ever given and just made me much better as a mentor is just to learn how to listen more than talk.
Putting money where your mouth is. Scott got Mario's son out. He did what, 15 or
Yep, Chapel
had
Mike.
about 30 more to do, and You know, we pulled them out when they had 15. So
Well, I saw, by the way, I saw Gilbert in Ironwood probably in his 40th year in prison, right?
Wow.
doing great.
His nephew, right?
Yeah, making more money than me.
40 years in prison, came home, got into the ARC construction union apprenticeship program, got into the electricians union, built the Rams stadium, and is a union electrician making insane amount of money. And I think that goes along with a piece of advice, Judge, which is like everyone in the room, pay attention to this, set the bar high, right? Like people I've met in the system are the smartest, are the craftiest, are the best artists. Like I hate when people are like, oh, it's a success if they don't go back to prison. No, the bar is set up here, and almost all the time they achieve it.
You know what, Gilbert? I swear to God, I gotta say, Gilbert, after the Ram Stadium, he went to work at the airport.
Yeah.
And he's working there, and all of a sudden, DEA, Homeland Security, all of them came rushing him, talking about, wait a minute, you've got Danny Trejo, Mario Castillo, and Sal Saldana as your references. They're all ex-felons.
I'm gonna ask this last question for our soundbite. So Scott,
But the Powers knew us, and it was cool. So he got to work for the airport.
I'm gonna ask Scott this last question for our soundbite. I'm gonna talk a little bit about JCOD. Why is JCOD important, and what's the most impactful partnership or thing that you think that we can do or do currently together?
I mean, I would say, I mean, obviously we have an incredible partnership together. So the fact that you're a government agency that can stand up an entire program, right, to take people who were incarcerated or system impacted and put them into massive firefighting careers for the rest of your lives. Ladies right there, baby, come on. So when you're driving in Malibu on Las Virgenes, Malibu Canyon towards the beach, and you pass what was an old probation camp where we kept 100 children locked up in that probation camp, JCOD turned that camp upside down, tore down all the fences, and now it's a firefighter training system, a place for just as impacted people. How does it get any better than that?
Y'all been there, it's nice.
Yeah, what do you think?
For me?
Yeah, what'd you think?
Oh, it was nice. Like the view is crazy. Like, no, it's nice. It's like you're doing like wonderful work, like for sure.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Still waiting for my invite.
And what'd you say?
Yeah, still waiting for the invite.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're welcome whenever you want. You all have my number. Y'all can call me.
Can I say one thing? Like, I'm gonna miss people, I'm sure, but like, there's so many JCOD partners in the room that I deal with every day. My boy Oscar, Welcome Home Oasis, Doug Bond, Amity. Where are my people from Ramp? Ramp, where you at?
Back
In the
there.
back, Healing Dialogue.
Julio, where's Julio? All
San
right.
Fernando Recovery.
San Fernando Recovery.
Recovery. So, and Mr. Trail, you get the last word. Why do you think the work that we do is important? You get the last word.
What's that?
Why do you think the work that we do is important?
God, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Why do you think the work that we do is important?
Well, you know what? It's like there's no one else on the front lines. I mean, it's that simple. You come out of prison and you don't have somebody to mentor you or somebody to help you, you're going back. That's what recidivism means. Recidivism, it means, whew, sorry, you're back. And so if you don't have people like this to like buffer you in, my cousin would be back in prison. He did 38 years. He didn't know how to go to a grocery store. We were doing 60 miles an hour on a freeway, bringing him home, and he was holding on to the remember Mario, and don't speed. And so we go into IHOP. He orders everything on the menu. And so what I'm trying to say, you know nothing about being on the streets. So if you have a mentor, or I'd stay clean just talking to her. I'm sorry. But I mean, just if you have a mentor, if you have people like YG, like talking, saying, hey, look, this is the way to go, that's the way you're going to go. Thank you.
With that, can we give them a round of applause? Thank you guys so much for being on this panel with me. I'm so grateful.